In this next video, we're going to learn how to embroider the baby booties that we'll be making on Saturday. We have 3 different sizes and the booties are made out of felt. This is a pair of little girls' booties. This is actually the medium size, if you can believe that. It's quite small, but there is actually a size smaller than this. We have them in 3 colors, the pink, of course, for the girls, a blue for the boys, and then we also have white for both the boys and the girls. And what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to do this blanket stitch, which is all the way around the soles of the booty, and then we'll embellish it and finish the booties for that can be paired with the gowns. Now I've started by threading my needle with 3 strands of embroidery floss, about 42 inches. 42 inches works perfectly for this size booty. For the bigger booties, you might want to go as much as 45 or 50 inches so that it's not quite so short at the end when you get back around to the back of the booty. Embroidery floss comes in 6 strands, and so what you do is you separate it. You count 3 and 3 and you slowly pull it apart until you have just 3 strands left. And then we're going to start with a knot on the end of our embroidery floss, and we just roll that around our finger and pull it tight. And again, we don't want a long tail because it's hard to hide the tail, so I'm going to clip that close. And then the way we're going to start this embroidery is we're going to go in through the back, the center of the booty from the inside. If you can see in here, right at the seam where the sole meets the upper part of the booty, and we're going to insert our needle and come out in between the 2 layers of felt, and then just pull it till it's snug. Now we're going to work with the booty, the edge of the booty towards us, and we're going to work like this through the whole booty and work from the left to the right all the way around the booty. So I've come out between the 2 layers of felt here in the back, and then I'm going to take my needle from the top and go over just a couple of stitches. They've been stitched together by machine, so if you don't feel sure about your spacing for your stitches, you can kind of count the stitches to know where to put your next one. So I went straight down, and then as I brought it up through the loop made by the embroidery floss, and you want to pull it just till it's snug. If you pull it too tight, it'll wrinkle the felt and it won't be pretty. So you want to pull it till it's just snug up against the outer edge of the booty. Again, I went down, put your needle from the top down to the bottom, like so, and then with this loop hanging, you're going to reach in between the loops and pull your needle out through that loop so that the loop itself is actually underneath the thread from the needle. Does that make, if that makes sense? So there you go. We're just pulling it up snug around. So you continue this all the way around. Okay, I'm almost all the way around this booty. As you can see, the stitches are pretty nice and uniform, and what I've been doing is using the sewing machine stitching as a guide, and I've spaced my stitches 2 sewing machine stitches apart, if that makes sense. My blanket stitch, where I insert my needle in the booty, I count over from this last stitch, 1, 2, you can see the stitches, and then I pull it up, and that makes those stitches so nicely spaced. Takes the guesswork out of it. Also, if you happen to be working on a pair of booties where the seam allowance itself doesn't seem to be the same width all the way around, use your own judgment and make them a little wider if you need to. As I was sewing these, I maybe didn't keep the same seam width all the time. We have 160 something of these little booties to make on Saturday, and hopefully we can get them all done so that we can get them paired up with the gowns. Alright, so now I'm back around to the beginning. I've made my last stitch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and go up under this first stitch from the bottom to the top, pull that last stitch I made snug, and then I'm going to put my needle through that loop, pull it snug along the edge of the booty, and then I'm going to make a knot here, like so. And then, just like we did in the beginning when we came from the inside out and buried the thread in the felt, I'm going to do that. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the center. Again, I'm going between the layers, between the sole of the booty and the top of the booty, and pulling that down in there, kind of burying the knot. And then I think, just for safekeeping, I'm going to go back out one more time. So from the inside, and go out in a different spot than I originally started. Come back out and clip that off. So there we have the blanket stitched little girl's booty.